Namaste and welcome to the 6th session of Ayurveda Thinkathon with me, Dr. Chetali Saman. And with me, it's a great pleasure to have Dr. Shekhar Annambhotla all the way from Pennsylvania, US with me today. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chitali.
Everybody knows you, sir. Almost everyone in the field of Ayurveda here in India knows you. Still, I would like to give a formal introduction for you. Dr. Shekhar completed his BMS, which is a graduate level course of Ayurveda from Nagarjuna University in the year 1988, after which he joined the prestigious IPGT and RA Institute from Gujarat Ayurveda University, and he completed his MD by specializing in Ayurvedic Panchakarma in the year 1991. It's a great joy to share the same alma mater with you, sir.
Thank you.
And after his, Dr. Shekhar taught Ayurveda for a brief time here in India before he moved to the US, where he completed, he finished several registrations to start his practice and teaching in Ayurveda. Like he's a registered yoga teacher. He's a licensed integrative bodywork and massage therapist. He's a faculty member of various Ayurveda schools throughout the USA. And even I think he has been at the core of starting Panchakarma units at several institutes like the Kripalu School of Ayurveda, and he has taught in Mount Madonna Institute of Ayurveda in California and several other institutes. He has been the founder of several great institutions. For example, he's the founding director of Ayurvedic Association, the Association for Ayurvedic Practitioners of North America, and the Ojas Ayurveda Wellness Center in Pennsylvania. He's the founder director of Global Ayurveda Conferences, another excellent initiative, and Global Ayurveda Academy, as well as Dosha Botanicals. Doctor has several laurels to mention today, for you. I mean, the list goes on and on. He has taught Ayurveda in close to 25 different countries, spanning 4 different continents, which is a feat, I think, unique to you, sir. It's worth appreciation, and I really feel the joy of having you on board. He has also taught Ayurveda in prestigious institutes. For example, University of Pennsylvania, UPenn, as it is called, University of Medicine and Dentistry in New Jersey, UMDNJ, Hershey Medical School, Jefferson Medical School, University of Penn Nursing School, and many more. From the day I received a call from you, way back in the year 2007, I think, related to membership of AAPNA and work of related to AAPNA, wherein we talked about starting the clinical meets of AAPNA back then and designing the logo of AAPNA, and till today, sir, it has, it's a privilege to having known you. Truly. And, the today's session, which is about Ayurveda in India and beyond, bridging the gap, there couldn't have been a better person to throw light on this issue than you. I formally welcome you, sir. Thank you so much for being agreeing to be a part of this session, despite of your busy schedule. I will right away get into the questions so that we have more time to discuss this.
Yes.
Sir, you have a huge, immense amount of experience being one of the stalwarts and true trailblazers, establishing practice and teaching in Ayurveda in United States, outside India, when such a thing was not heard of. You kind of paved the way and explored the possibilities and started it almost when there was no guidance available. Despite of our postgraduate degrees here in India, extensive training at undergraduate and postgraduate level, we need to learn and unlearn so many things when we migrate to a country which is other than India, before we are able to practice and teach Ayurveda. Sir, in your opinion, what is the reason for this wide gap between how Ayurveda is dealt with in India and how Ayurveda is perceived or taught or learned in other countries? What is your opinion, sir?
So, first of all, as a graduate from India, trained by the Ayush Department of Health, and we have some loopholes are there, lacunas are there, where we are teaching programs there. So majority of the institutions what they teach in India, and when you are going to abroad, various countries, then you need to have a language is very important to communication. So first of all, our students, our practitioners and clinicians and all the people who are trained in India, they need to be very eloquent in the language and writing skills and communication skills. These are the important than having a knowledge. Anybody can tell about Triphala easily, but how Triphala is effective, why it is called Triphala, why it is how it is effective in the various conditions, simple conditions, and that way it is able to communication. In the Western world, people wanted to know why, and they will ask several questions. If you are simply giving a prescription for somebody, that they will have a question, several questions you are able to answer. The communication is very very important for the to impress the client and patients. That's one thing. So that is the reason I humbly request all the practitioners in India, instead of focusing on only studying slokas and by hearting the slokas and not language learning, international language is very important. At least one language is important, international language. Even though I have only in international language English and Hindi, of course local language Telugu and Kannada, some languages I know. But the thing is that I cannot use the Kannada, Telugu, Hindi in other countries where English is the one of the universal international language. That's the thing. If you go to the Hungary, Austria, Italy, Germany, all the different countries where you have an interpreters and translators are there, where you are able to communicate with them properly, and the language and the simple language and the simple examples which you can communicate with them. So that is the thing, one thing. And writing skills also very important, they have to focus on that. And also giving the lectures. I have done more than about 10,000 lectures and in the various countries and everything. That means you are able to, any given topic is able to speak very clearly, communicate well, and a simple language to reach out to the people, kindergarten level like that. So then what happens? It will feel appealing for them. It is not like a rocket science of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is not a rocket science. Simple language which day to day in our grandparents and parents they use in our day to day life. This is the thing which is not a written knowledge. It is not a written knowledge. It's an actual knowledge which is transmitted from generation to generation like that. If you look into the Charaka Sushruta, before the textbooks and everything is there, we don't have any textbooks are there. It's all the Guru Sushrusha, teacher and this Valmiki writing these things, and that's Lava Kusha and all the people, Ramayana and everything, they are able to leave it. They are able to focus on something, they learn something with respect to the teachers and everything, they are able to learn thoroughly knowledge and everything. They are able to practically demonstrate it. So that is the reason when we are asking about that, if, for example, simple things that Kala or Desha and all the different conditions, according to various conditions, climatic conditions and everything. And these are also important like that. A lot of people, they say that, oh, we need to use wooden tables only to do Panchakarma therapies. No, not necessary. Wooden tables are uncomfortable for the people who are wanted to go for Panchakarma therapies. And when you are giving pressure for them, because in the ancient time, we are able to use wooden tables, and we have an earthen parts and everything, and clay parts. Those things we are using. Now we are replacing that one with the stainless steel and copper and silver, those type of things we are using. So modern technology has to be used at the same time, and our graduation, our students has to be more. Teachers also, teachers has to upgrade their knowledge and everything, not like and again the way is that in India they are only working in the government sector and only job purpose. Why they are joining the BAMS course or MD Ayurveda course? Why you are studying? Sir, I want to get a job security. Job security purpose, they can go and work in the banking sector or LIC, those type of things. They don't need to join the Ayurveda program. No. When we join the BAMS course, we'll become considered as a doctor. So then we can put a stethoscope in our neck, and we can white coat, we can put it, and we can give injections for that way. That is a bypassing the things. They can go into join the medical MBBS course. If they wanted to do those the type of things, they can join the MBBS course. What the service they are providing to the Ayurveda, how much they are doing, this is the thing is very important, and they have to be passionate. And I generally work for 7 days a week. I don't have a holiday. Even Saturday, Sunday also I work. And every day is a working day. Every day is holiday for me. Every day is a working day. Every day is a holiday for me. That is the way you need to be passionate about working in these things. Then you are able to success and succeed into the profession. Unless you don't have faith in yourself, yeah, 100% we cannot do it with Ayurveda only. We have to integrate various systems of medicine. So various knowledge is required and everything. This is the thing, is the biggest problem is happening. Our young generation, the students, we are happy to educate them such a way they have to be focused on learning more on these things, that Ayurveda has to be reformed again, re-established like that, and how it can be communicated like that. International collaboration. Every school has to be having international collaborations are required. And collaboration when they are doing, even they can. We don't need to come to every college. We can do it from here. Teaching classes like that. There are hundreds of Ayurvedic practitioners, because if you go to the website of Association of Ayurvedic Professionals of North America, AAPNA.org, where you can see all the BAMS graduates, Ayurvedic practitioners, various countries. Now we have members of 7,000 members are there in the organization, and there are various 124 countries from the A to Z countries like that. We have countries are there, and people are spreading the Ayurveda knowledge. Everybody wants to come to the other countries like that. Instead of that, they can do the programs in their own country, developing connections and connecting and everything. We can connect with so many educational programs and things like that. So this is the gap. How can we do it gap? First of all, Ayurveda is brought up in India. It is a part of our bloodstream. In our bloodstream, we know all these things. Simple things. We don't know the things. What is the qualities of the cumin, coriander, ginger, masala, and everything? We don't know the spices properly. We eat it. We flavor it, we enjoy it. But the thing is that what happening, what are the qualities of these things, when to use it, what are the scientific studies are done on these things, we don't know. If anybody asks the BIM student after finishing of these things, what are the cumin qualities, Rasaguna Viryapak Prabhava, they will tell, that's it. And what are the scientific studies are done? There is a study was done on the colon cancer. Cumin seed extract is given for the colon cancer. That they don't know this part. And it is also good for the lower back pains conditions like that, and all these things. There are what cuminum, cyminum, what you are taking this formula, simple thing. What is the culinary herbs which can use it? That is also medicine. The turmeric is a medicine. Now turmeric is becoming a popular medicine all over the world. That the curcumin is extracted like that. Now turmeric becoming a golden milk, and now golden milk came, and turmeric came, and curcumin came like that. Basvalia and ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is a world popular medicine like that. It's an adaptogenic qualities and everything. Simple herbs. You don't need to take a Bruhatva Chantamani, Saptamrtaloha. Those things are not necessary. These are complex medications. And also again, as you go into the more complex formulations, more adulteration chances are there. If it is the more simple formulations are there, in black pepper, they cannot put too many adulterations. Single herbs, ashwagandha powder, they can put a starch powder and some potato powder, they can add it to that. You have to see the spectrographies and chromatography values and everything is a quality control. Ayurvedic people products has to be quality control is very, very important. If we are not adulterations are there happening, then failure. You may prescribe some medicine for somebody, but the pharmacy is not manufacturing very reliable product like that and everything, then you are not getting desired results. Then success is not happening there. So the quality control is important, and drug inspectors who are doing this proper inspections and everything properly doing like that, suspending their licenses and everything, they will not get 10 years of licenses. That's it. Once you suspend them, they will not get the licenses. Quality control, Ayush has to take the full responsibility to take the responsibility of the product, these things, and distribution of these things. If you see buy the product, Chavanprasha. In India, they manufacture Patanjali, Dabur, Baijanad, and Jhandu. So many companies are manufacturing. See all the products, put them together. Analyze them. All are different. Why? If you take the paracetamol tablet from Jammu Kashmir and from Kerala and Karnataka, same ingredients. There is no change is there. Then you will see the standardization of the drug is required, standardization of education is required, standardization of teaching is required. And in the medical schools, They don't teach in Jhansi, in Madhya Pradesh, Hindi or Marathi. In Maharashtra, they don't teach MBBS course in Marathi. Why Ayurveda schools has to taught in Marathi or Telugu and Kannada and all this international language? English medium has to be established properly. Every school has to be taught in these things. Like for example, I went to the Madhya Pradesh to give an international conference. We are conducting there, and the students, when we are talking simple language, we are not talking high language like that, and they are not able to understand. Students cannot understand. The BAMS students, MD students, they are not able to understand. Sir, if you don't mind, can you speak in Hindi? International conference, BAMS students, MD students, lecturers, they are not able to understand the English, and where we can bring the gap, and why they are conducting these conferences, international conferences. They can call it this Hindi conference. So this is the biggest problem, is that they need to know the proper language and everything, bridging the gap. How can we bring it like that? The English has to communication skill, and they can have a communication skill has to develop. Chinese people, even though they have language is there, they have interpreters and all the things are there. They can do it something similar way. Our Indian country, India, is established like the British rule is there. That way we are able to establish English and communication skill. Even though you are speaking Kannada language, I speak in Telugu language. If I don't know English, you don't know English, how can we communicate each other?
Communicate with
Gap
each other.
Gap is gone. We don't know each other. This is the biggest problem. So first of all, our students has to strongly understand the English is the basic language learn, and communication skill, writing skill has to develop, and that is the thing they have to do it here. When you go to the any school, medical school, or any medical engineering, acupuncture school, chiropractic school, or a massage school, or anything, they ask you to write a TOEFL examination, GRE examination. Why can't we have another type of examinations there established in India also? And then only they will be established in the BAMS course, and they have to taught very well. They have to be examination, and also more and more practical part, not theory learning. Everything Sankhya philosophy, if they are talking, even the Padartha Vijnana Sankhya philosophy they are talking, they have to have practicality is required. How to tanmatras, simple tanmatras, or Panchamahabhutas. How the Panchamahabhuta constituents and everything they have to be established properly, understanding like that with the Western knowledge and everything. Then you have Western doctors who are come there, and they can also communicate with you like that, and interaction between the doctors and all the people. This is one science they have established like that. There is a ways to develop the wonderful knowledge together. That is the reason biggest gap is coming between these things. Communication skills, not proper understanding. That is the biggest problem in this country, in our country.
Sir, that was really thorough. What you said, and I really like the point wherein you said that communication skills are not a part of education when it comes to BMS degrees. Suppose it might take a very long time to make policies and implement them in Ayurveda colleges. For those students who are listening to this today, especially at the BMS level, what I think even Dr. Shekhar would agree with me that there are no goal settings that happen when students do BMS degree. As you said, they have very limited scope and very limited understanding of the gravity of the degree or the course that they are taking. They do not understand that even with a BMS course, if they study really well, they can be very thorough practitioners, and they can be international teachers. Whether you choose to do MD or not after that is a personal decision based on each person's situation. However, that goal setting is what I feel is missing. In when I teach undergraduate students also, I see that when they pass out, they might get the degree of doctor, but they are not practitioners when they pass out. Exactly. The practical knowledge is largely missing, and there are no set goals in life as to what are the possibilities that they have after completing BMS, apart from knowing that they can join probably as a doctor, duty doctor in some hospital, or they have a chance to do, say, MD by appearing for the all India entrance examinations now for postgraduate. Apart from that, I do not see the course giving clarity to students as to what future holds for them, or what are the career opportunities they have. If they are thinking of practicing or teaching in internationally in different countries, I think that clarity needs to be there in their mind somehow, wherein that orientation is given to them when they join as to what are the possibilities that are open to them when they take this course.
Yes.
For example, when Western students come to take even a simple, say, the first level course of Ayurveda counselor or a life coach course in the US, which is, I think, a 500-hour course, they are very clear as to how they are going to make use of that course. Some people do it for their own health. Some people might do it as an added profession to, as a added profession which can help them financially and because they are passionate about this field. But unlike that clarity, we miss in the education system what we have here, because our students are largely clueless as to what they want to do. There is no clarity about it. About communication skills and languages, that was a good point what you said. There has to be uniform standards, not just in teaching and not just in theory and practicals which get taught to students. There has to be an uniformity even in the language which is used. If English was not the internationally accepted language, then we would have said whichever language is accepted internationally. It is not necessary that we are endorsing English over here. Whichever language is universally acceptable, or if a student has set goals like I want to practice in Russia or I want to practice in Europe, then probably your choices would have been to learn Russian or to learn German, which is a widely accepted language in the Europe. So you need to have a goal. Unless you have a set goal in the mind that, many people, even those who migrate to the US, including me, did not have the goal of migrating to the US. So for a couple of years, it took me by surprise. From my own experience, I'm telling you, doctor, as to I didn't know what I'm supposed to do when I land there. With your help, I learned a lot, like what are the possibilities and everything. And your support was invaluable to me at that point of time. But that kind of exposure is largely missing. So people who go from here do not have any clarity as to what future holds for them when they migrate to other countries. So that was wonderful, doctor. Doctor, what you mentioned largely, you even discussed the second question, what I was going to ask you as to what change needs to be brought in our education system to hone the talent, of the Ayurveda talent in India and make them world ready. What I find, the difference I find is that the way we teach Ayurveda here, many a times we do not, as you said, a student doesn't understand what cumin does to their own body, what cumin, traditional language, knowledge of cumin they have. So what it says is that they largely, one, lack passion for the subject, and two, they do not apply the system for their own self.
Exactly.
If you're an Ayurvedic doctor, probably you need to live the profession, you cannot keep that as a separate part of your life and lead your life separately. As you said, you work 7 days a week, which is amazing. So it shows your passion. You are in this field for more than 30 years now, right?
Yes.
So it shows your passion that consistently you are able to work so much, and it shows your love for the subject. But that kind of passion is largely missing in students.
100%. I agree with that. The people who are passionate, they can succeed it, they can do it, they can achieve it, their goals. So goal orientation is very important. I have done more than now. I scheduled for 45 international conferences, and we have goals are there properly and establishment of practice and everything. And the main thing is that here is very important, like that in the Indian education system reforming like that. Every class, if the 1 hour lecture is there, and 45 minutes teacher is teaching the presentation clearly pointed like that. If for example he is talking about vata dosha or pitta dosha or kapha dosha, and in that vata dosha, what are the qualities? Tatradhya marutam nanti tayastikta dayah kafam. So for example, these qualities are there. What are the qualities of Tatruksho Lagusita Karasushma Salonilaha? These are the qualities are there. When they taken these qualities, they have to talk about 45 minutes about the qualities of each and everything and how Ruksha quality is there. When the Ruksha quality, what happens to the body and what happens to the nature. They both has to be explained. And for example, in the body, if it is happening there, how the simple way like that, your joints are cracking the joints. Everybody experiences brittling of the hair, and nasal crust is forming like that. Anything drying of the body, and feeling physiologically and psychologically what happening, and not able to focus properly, and disturbed sleep, and not disorientation, mental disorientation. These are the things of mental level and spiritual levels, not connecting to this the level also like that, to the God oriented, like the God consciousness is not there like that. These all the three aspects are important: environmental level, spiritual level, physical level, and every level has to be explained properly, every quality. Then what happens after that, teacher has to go back and sit in the student separately. One student, they have to select the students. Every class, one or two students, they have to represent the knowledge and everything. They have to go to the board and explain to the students again what they learned in the class. So that way what happens, every student get an opportunity to speak in front of the audience, and they're with own their language and everything, how they are doing, and this can be recorded. Even nowadays cell phones are there. In the cell phones, what they can do, they can record it, everything, and they can re-listen to that, what they are doing, what the lecture is doing. And then every class is done, and every in between they have to have a groups, they have to create it. So five students group like that, they have to discuss, they have to give the conclusion points and everything. More students involvement is there, not like a teaching the books and reading the books. People can go and study the books in the library. Students can buy the books and everything. The interaction between that, it is happening there. That's important. Lot of students, so what they do, they sit there either under the tree, they are drinking chai, or they are not in the classroom. Even they come for that these things, signature purpose, they are coming for these things, and they come in the class and they will go. And this is the thing, is discipline is not there. When they are not passionate about the classes and everything, you have to take them, dismiss them classes. They don't need to come to the classes anything. They are giving the bad name for these things. They're only for the education. And a lot of schools established like that and everything, donation basis, they don't care about that. They don't, some of the schools, they don't enter the students also like that. Even I have pity like that. Some of my friends who are MD Ayurveda done, and they are practicing some country, on paper they're doctors, college lecturers. What is this nonsense is going on? On paper is illegal. It's illegal to do it that way, and they have to be arrested first. And they are only giving the 10,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees for these things. When the inspection CCIM knows about these things. Ayush knows about these things. Why they are shutting their mouths? This is the thing, this is the pity situation like that. A lot of schools and colleges, what they are doing, there is no faculty members. This is the thing, they are paying a lot of money and donations for these colleges like that, and tuitions like that. And students have never get confidence. They finish their BAMS degree, they come out, and they are hopeless. And then what they are doing in America, a lot of BAMS people, graduates and everything, they don't know anything. There are at least 1,000 BAMS doctors are there in America. Out of that, handful of practitioners only successfully practicing. Remaining all our people, somebody is working in the gas station, somebody is IT sector, somebody is working in some other profession, or nurse practitioner, or some other things they are doing. Other than that, they are not having confidence because they never built up the confidence like that. That is the biggest problem. But whereas I never switched my profession, so all my career from since 1982 to 2000, this many years, I am in the same profession. I am continuing journey of these things. I am happy to continue this journey for 30 more years. So this passion is required all the time. So when you are passionate of doing these things, the reason is that you are able to explore, and teaching these things. I will explain to you simple things that even I came up with some idea of the preparing of herbal teas. So people cannot drink these teas and everything. I prepared some of the simple teas like that, herbal tea. I came up with the lung care herbal tea. It's easy to understand. So in this simple ingredients like talisadi, sitapaladi, esti madhuchurnam, and vasaka leaf, and tulsi, cardamom, cinnamon, fennel, and lemon peel and orange peel. It's a bronchodilation effect is there. All the respiratory conditions is helpful, and this is a very flavorful. Make a tea bag and boil in what we are telling that boil one tea bag 4 to 6 cups of water for 5 minutes, remove the tea bag, pour in a tea into thermos and sip several times daily, either warm or room temperature. What happening? First thing is happening, it is working on the gastrointestinal system. And what is happening? Ama is removed. Ama is the culprit for all the creating of amena tena samprukta dosha dushasya murchita. First, ama is creating, removing. When the ama is not forming in the stomach, then ama will not enter into the lungs. So when the ama is blocked there, the the oxygenation is not happening for the people like that. Then the bronchial asthma, respiratory conditions, anything can happen, sinus conditions and everything. These people, they drink almost, I have sold these packets, almost 5,000 packets. Only one packet. This is the thing. There are so many varieties, joint capsules. This is the thing. And also it's very easy. Herbal supplements, simple things and easy to do it. And people can boil it and they can drink it. This is the simple way how to remodify it. Our formulations has to be remodified. So if you give Panchatakta Brata Gugulu, how can you take it? Varuna the Kashayam. All of these different things, these kashayams and everything, in the ancient time, how there are medications they have to given therapeutically like that. Some has to be given in the day-to-day practices. They have to use it regularly and very powerfully use it. And simple things. First of all, Amapachana is a very important concept for my practice, successful practice. I have 3,000 patients in my practice there. All our people successfully get rid of the problems. So manner level. Even if you show them 20% improvement, 10% improvement, they will follow you. Even 10% improvement. You don't need to show 100% improvement. Nobody asking you 100%. No, even the medical doctors also cannot give 100% guarantee for any disease. So what we needed to do, we need to develop the confidence. We need to develop, the students has to learn these things. And this is the thing, there are classification of the formulations and it has to be given like that and everything. There are some classical rasausadas and all these things. We don't know how they are manufactured, how the procedures is there, and these things are all the rasausadas are very spurious, and also if they are not manufactured properly, it becomes visha, toxic. And how can we give these things? There are simple studies are done, Janamagunti and Bhratva Chintamani. So many products are there which is having heavy metal contents are there. It's not properly, it's not Shastra is not wrong. The system is not wrong. What is the manufacturing defect is there here? Any company you take it, it's not able to absorb into the system properly. And it is when it's not absorbed in the system, it becomes spurious. And that is the reason a lot of people, they ask me that in my practice like that, does these products having heavy metals? No. We are having USDA approved products are there. These are the scientifically means they are heavy metal content and everything they taken out. Herbal formulas, all herbal formulations, simple formulation. Even when we are coming in here and practicing this, I have Western herbs also there. Astragalus, spirulina, nettle leaves. These are the things, different things, herbal Western herbs which are commonly available. Those herbs also we use in our practice. So when we are using and everything, that also you have to lemon peel. We don't use in lemon peel in India. We may use for external use. Who uses internally? Not many. But lemon peel, orange peel, and different types of clays, herbal clays, and all these things. You have to be multi-talented like that. Multi-talented. You are able to teach. You need to cook the food like that. If the ahara is not good, because we are always working about that. Any Ayurvedic BIMS graduate come to America, first thing that Dr. Shekhar, medicines are available or not. What do you mean by medicines? Turmeric is a medicine. Cumin is a medicine. Coriander is a medicine. In our backyard, I bought, one morning wake up and I went to the backyard. We are growing the tulsi, basil. Basil is an Basilicum indica, Basilicum in company, and this the trade name, and that is the thing. Basilicum leaf, it's a tulsi like that. Is exactly looks like that, and but it is a wild variety, and it is generally used in the Western countries in the respiratory conditions like that. We made a pesto. I brought that one to the office. Today we are making breakfast. Lunchtime we are making pesto. How do we make it simple? Tulsi leaves, that basil leaves, and take a little bit of salt and see what different nuts you can put it in that, and garlic, and make a paste, and some nice paste comes, and this aroma is there, nice aroma is there, and it is a powerful way of even by smell itself respiratory condition improves like that, and it is a very good remedy for these things. Food is a medicine.
Correct.
Drug is not a medicine. Food is a medicine. If you think about food, is every day to day you can take it. Even if you take 1 tablespoon extra of basil powder, then nothing happens. Oregano, marjoram, all the different herbs are very aromatic herbs are there, which can be used in the day to day life. Our students has to learn how to cook the food also, and they have to have a kitchen. In every hospital, their students has to go there in the cooking classes, Swasthavrta department. They have to go and cook the food and serve the food for all the patients. And all the students has to go through the Panchakarma therapies when they are doing. A lot of my students, my classmates, they don't know how to do massages. Whereas when I was doing there, they were in the outside and standing outside and making these things. I make $100,000 only through the massages. And because when you are touching the person, you are healing the person also at the same time. You are able to know these things. How the massage therapist knowledge is there only 500 hours of training. Whereas you have 6,000 hours of training. You are more competent than him. You are able to see the things that you need to take the instruction like that. You can have in these things, interact with them, how the things are, why the position has to be given, how the position is there, how the oils are absorbed, what type of oils you have to choose. Everything is a very systematic science is there. How the absorption is there. And sometimes when you are putting the oil on the person, then you see how much absorption the oil is there. Some people, kapha person comes, you cannot put that much oil. Massage therapist doesn't know how much oil has to be used. This has to be taught by and also this massage therapist also, they need to have a thorough knowledge about this. Not only that, a technique like that, they need to know about the constitutional analysis and what are the things like that. They need to have a more theory part like that. They are not becoming a simple massage therapist or these things. A lab technician, and he is doing these things that he will not put a lung puncture. He has to know properly the way of how he is doing like that and everything. He has to have a thorough examination technique and everything has to be, because the problem in the country is that we have the problem is that bypassing the things. Knowledge is bypassed. And bypass means in terms of that what they are doing, they are shortcuts. They are looking for the shortcuts to pass the examination. Shortcuts are there, then you will lifelong you will be shortcut for you. You will not be able to successful. You are not competent, able to do it, practice and successful like that. That is the problem. And why we are studying this exam? Because only for passing the examination. Examination should not be done in the year ending. Every quarterly they have to do examination. Every quarterly they have to 4 quarters. They have to do 4 examinations. Then cumulatively they have to bring together marks like that together and pass and give the final examination. Like what they are doing, otherwise students, what they are doing, first 3 months, there is an examination. After 3 months, another examination. After 3 months, another examination. After 3 months, another examination. Finish the program in 4 years or 3 years program. I don't care. Keep them busy. And 15 days gap for every session, every quarterly you are doing these classes like that. 15 days gap. In a yearly, they get 2 months of holidays. And again, next semester starts. Semester wise, we have to create a semester wise examinations and cumulative examinations, and the practicum part and everything has to be not a yearly examination, that has to be reformed again. And that way, more and more practicum part, 50% of the theory is less. Even I think that theory is 30%, 70% practicum. Then they will be able to successfully practice in future. When the BAMS graduates comes out of these things, he has to be able to practice properly whatever the things they can do it in the culinary aspects, massage therapies, and all the different things. Independently, they are able to successfully practice. They establish their practice.
So that's a wonderful thing, doctor. I really liked you giving us an insight into your practice, because this is very valuable for people who are watching this or who are going to watch this in future. Yes. Dr. Shekhar gave you a very good insight into what a day or what his practice looks like, whether it is from getting innovative regarding making your own modifications and coming up with your own formulations, or whether it is regarding having hands-on knowledge about various therapies that you do for your patients, experiencing it yourself, and having the confidence to do it correctly and bring about the required customization for every single patient who comes to you, or every single client who comes to you. Third thing, what I really liked about what Dr. Shekhar said is that, that you need to have faith in your own system, and faith in your system that you can make a difference to somebody's life and be passionate about it. When you come out as a BMS student, you need to know everything regarding your practice, right from the theory aspect to the practical applications of everything that you study, whether it is the Sankhya philosophy, or whether it is what exactly Ruksha Guna is, as you gave example, doctor, or whether it is regarding Ahara, which forms such a large part of Ayurveda practice internationally. Many a times Swasthavritta, which is what helps you establish practice outside India, is largely ignored as a subject in the BMS curriculum. And that is where people face hurdles. Also, what knowledge you imparted right now as to what your practice looks like. This sort of information is not very available very freely here to even MD doctors who pass out. As to when many people, even Ayurveda doctors, ask us, even in today's world where internet and information is so freely available, as to, oh, do you get Ayurveda herbs or medicines in the US? And then we have to explain them that Ayurveda is a much larger field and a much larger area, or a business in the US as compared to India, where many of the herbs are grown even in climatic conditions similar to India. For example, in several countries in the South America, where climatic conditions are similar to India, they are growing herbs over there and using them and marketing them in the US. So it's gaining popularity more than probably what it is gaining here in India. And it gets practiced to the T over there as compared to here, wherein here we always try to find shortcuts, or we try to constantly prove ourselves against the yardstick of probably modern medicine. There is no such competition that exists there in the US, where we are free to be what we are.
Exactly.
We are free to say that we are a complementary system of medicine, and we are trained to do just this. Nobody expects us to understand allopathy medicines. Nobody expects us to understand conventional system of diagnosis, or conventional system of, you explain me what the steroid does to my body. The way people ask you questions here, they will ask you about Vata, Pitta, Kapha, or Agni, or Ama, and ask you to explain in your own terminology rather than take support of modern medicine. You need the knowledge, yes, because unless you have that background and philosophy in your mind, and you have that knowledge deep inside you, you will not be able to explain your own science correctly. True, but you also need to be very thorough with what you have been trained to be. Another thing I really liked, doctor, I remember a discussion which happened between us, where you told me that somebody called you and asked you tell me what I need to do to be able to practice here. What you explained to us within the last half an hour can go on for next 3 days also. If we ask you, doctor, how do I learn to practice in the US where you are practicing, isn't it?
Yes.
There is no shortcut to this.
Exactly.
There is no shortcut to there wherein we can give you a 2 days course or 3 days course, or some tips, as to you do this and you will be able to practice. Rather, it's a long journey. And doctor here is a live proof to that,
yes,
showing that it's always a journey which can span several years, and requires great commitment on your part, and sustained passion and belief on your part that you can do it.
Exactly.
Isn't it, doctor?
When you are practicing also, you are be competent of doing of everything. For example, morning I scheduled some Virechana therapy for somebody, or somebody Abhyanga therapy, in the Shirodhara therapy I started. So I wanted to do the morning at, for example, 6 o'clock. Is the therapist is ready to come at 6 o'clock? No, he is ready to come at 9 o'clock, and he will go for 5 o'clock. He is not passionate because he is employed by you. And if you ask him to come at 6 o'clock, that means he said the double charge I will charge you. Or maybe they said that, Dr. Shekhar, my daughter is sick, I am not able to come. Then now situation is falls on you that oh, you are struggling like that. Now you have to do yourself. You are not able to do it because you are not licensed to do anything like that. Then you are dependent upon somebody. Then you have to cancel the appointment. Then what happens, sir? Oh, he is canceling the appointment just now, last moment. Then how can I trust this practitioner? So
Unprofessional,
you are unprofessional. Like that. You are able to competently do it everything proper, systematically like that. This is the thing. You need to acquire the certifications and licenses and everything required for ready to do certain things like that. Even food and, for example, I am teaching the food and nutrition program. First time launched in America, Ayurvedic food and nutrition consultant program. We are not calling it dietitians. A World Health Organization has given a benchmark training in the Ayurvedic dietetics program, 1,000 hours of program. So 500 to 1,000 hours of program, basic understanding of these things. People who have the basic understanding, Ayurvedic lifestyle consultant or practice health coaches like that, those people, they are eligible to take this food and nutrition program. A lot of people, they ask that, can you teach online courses like that? Food and nutrition, how can we teach online? This
cannot.
part is there. There are several people in India, they ask me that, can we take this course from USA, then I can practice. What I am teaching, that simple things like that. These are the things what we do here. We take the classification of the food into the according to Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Tridosha. Simple it is. Because we are not, because broad spectrum of three elements are very clearly Acharyas have mentioned. So there are certain foods are which is Vata balancing. Vata balancing foods are there, sweet, Madhura, Amla, Lavana, Rasa. These are the things are there. What are the grains are Madhura Rasa? What are the grain? What are the vegetables are there? What are the nuts are there? What are the seeds are there? What are the oils are there? Various dairy products and everything, animal products and everything we take into the consideration like that. Then example, pitta, balancing. And with the vata recipes, we show them one recipe and students has to come up with a group of students are independently, they have to do together a formula. Two students has to come together and make a recipe on the basis of the vata dosha. And once they make the recipe and other students has to taste it, they evaluate it. So that way they are eating the food and then they will tell that what are the rasa, guna, virya, paka and everything, they have to talk about that. And that way interaction is happening between the students and these things. Then these students are done. Second batch will come and they will prepare different formulation in the meantime. So that is the way 10 students or 15 students, 20 students are there. The batches you are creating, and that way you are having, and also at the same time, when the same students, when they're going to Pitta group, they cannot change, take the same batchmate. They have to change the partner. That means they are able to work with every student. And also very good camaraderie is happening between the students. Now you see the colleges, girls and boys are fighting each other. They don't interact with each other. They don't communicate each other. They're always hiding some of the information, knowledge and everything. There is no uniformity and knowledge. The camaraderie is not there. That's the thing is very important. That is the thing is important. Students are not collaborating. And that is the reason quarrels and everything is happening and fightings and strikes and everything is happening in the college. They're focusing on this thing. They don't allow the passionate about the knowledge. The purpose is that if they wanted to do strikes, they can go outside and they can do some other things like that. But whereas when they are medical profession, they are coming, when they are passionate about the patient and everything, and the rounds when they are going, and a lot of my classmates when they are studying like that, even the night duties, for example, in the house surgery, we are doing night duties at a time, and when we are doing night duties, Shekhar, I cannot come today, I am going to my girlfriend, I am going to with the movie, can you do my night duty? Yeah, no problem. So I take my books and everything, my preparing my PG studies, I will go and sit there, no emergencies, nothing is there in Ayurvedic hospital. And our some of the students like that, they will go into the nursing homes, they will sit there. What they are doing, they are giving this IV trips and everything like that. That is the only thing they learned. And now government is restricting them not to practice allopathy medicine. They shut down their practices and everything. Then now they don't know how to practice allopathy, Ayurveda. They completely forgotten. They have no knowledge. And then what they will do, they go into the real estate business. Some of my friends in Canada, he is practicing a real estate business. One of the guys is having Domino's restaurant. He's having a motel restaurant, motel businesses, because they don't have confidence. They have degrees, MD degrees are there. So institution is not a problem like that. The candidate has to be passionate about where they are studying. And my college is very simple colleges. Like we are studying in small colleges, like the government colleges and very simple colleges. It's not an institution is not giving the training program. What is passionate about success of the student? Like all IPGT and our students are not successful practitioners. I have my classmate is there, IPGTR. He is running the motel. He may be making more money, but doesn't mean that it is the passionate about IPGT or not what he has given certificate for him. That is not valuing like that. He will never use the degree. He doesn't know where is the degree also. My degrees are always hanging there everywhere. I am compassionate and passionate about what you are doing. That's important. Our students has to learn. Even dentist, if you ask him, a medical doctor ask him, he is passionate about his work. If they are not passionate, don't do any practice. Tear off your certificate. Tear off your certificate. Don't tell that you are Ayurvedic doctor, BAMS doctor. Don't tell them anybody. Do some other work. Shift your job to some other profession. Sit for the civil services. If you are competent, do it. Or MBA, engineering. Something you can do it. By the name of Ayurveda, by the BAMS degree, you don't infame that way like that. Oh, colleges never taught. Colleges are taught like properly, but colleges never taught anything. Colleges just only guide you. But your discipline, your hard work and everything counts on these things, and you are disciplined, very important. You are passionate about the knowledge and everything, and that's the thing important to manufacture these things. When I was studying BAMS course, I read an article like that. It's interesting that turmeric boiled in the lime water. Lime water, I took a lime water in a pot, in an earthen pot, I took it, and I was doing BAMS studies, 4th year student, and I read an article in newspaper, and somebody who is having a rheumatoid arthritis, army officer, he got a formula from one saint that turmeric, whole pieces of the dry turmeric pieces has to be boiled in the lime water, and after lime water boiled, then you keep it and seal it for 30 days. After 30 days, that lime water and wash it properly. And again dry it, make a powder of it. That powder has to be taken, that turmeric powder, and with the lime and limestone, that's which we put in a stones like that, not lime water, limestone. So it's a calcium is there. Because lime having calcium and turmeric having anti-inflammatory quality, that together working, it is a marvelously working for the rheumatoid arthritis, Amavata conditions. Simple formula, and which is a very powerful way. What is the chemistry is working there? I have done, and I made a formula for 1 kilo powder. I kept it like that. For any patient who has a rheumatoid arthritis patients or arthritis problems or osteoarthritis, any conditions are there, I will give small quantity of powder and give it to them and use it. Within 3rd day, they started to feel much improvement. And which cost me only 20 rupees. With 20 rupees, I made 20,000 rupees in India. You need to know one formula. You know how to make the money. You can make money properly, but you are not cheating anything. But you can, with the trust you have made it, you have waited for 30 days, follow the principle and everything. That way you can show the results. There are so many ways to do so many things like that. We can do it. Ayurveda has to be taught in that way like that. It has to be practiced like that. In the day-to-day practices, you have to do it.
Absolutely. Doctor, I really feel inspired by your experiences, which speak volumes about how dedicated you have been right from the time you were a student, and how dedicated and passionate you are about what you do even till date, and probably for years to come, and guiding us to be better versions of ourselves as Ayurvedic doctors. So your passion for the system of medicine that we all understand and study and teach and learn really inspires me, and I'm pretty sure it will inspire viewers who watched us today and heard your discussion. As a conclusion, I would say that what I understand from your answers, fantastic answers that you gave today, is there are no shortcuts to learn or to bridge this gap, what we were speaking about. When you are studying in India and when you want to practice Ayurveda outside India, if you are determined to make that shift, or if you are determined to steer your career in that direction, prepare as early, start the preparation as early as you can. Gather as much information as you want. And Dr. Shekhar did not hide anything today. There is information available. In today's world, there is no information that can be held back from anybody who wants to seek it. And you have openly told what you did to establish your practice in the US today. You didn't hold back anything. So the information is out there, the guidance is out there. It's just for the people or the students to learn and to start preparing and not look for shortcuts.
Yes,
there is no shortcut to this. There are no quick fixes to this. There is absolutely no 5 tips with which you can start, Ayurveda for dummies kind of an approach to practicing Ayurveda, outside of India. Your preparation needs to be thorough. Your belief needs to be solid in what you want to do. And I think, Doctor, you'll also agree with me. People in the West can make out practitioners who do not have confidence, who do not believe the system that they are practicing,
exactly,
or who are faking knowledge.
exactly.
They can make out, people are smart. They can make out if you're trying to fake things, which you are not. So you need to believe what you're doing. And as doctor said that, he takes the Ayurveda food and nutrition course. He practices what he teaches. And that is what makes it that much more effective and what makes him successful, because you practice what you teach. So I think that is something we can all take away from today's discussion. Dr. Shekhar, it was a pleasure having you today. And it was fantastic listening to you. And I really, really appreciate you taking time from your very, very, very busy schedule for Ayurveda Thinkathon today. On the behalf of all the viewers who took part in today's session, I really thank you from the bottom of my heart, and thank all the viewers who watched us today. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Have a great day ahead.
That's a wonderful thing you are doing, and really it's definitely is a good privilege for me and inviting me and for this Thinkathon, and then it's really good, and what you did, it's such a wonderful thing. This type of things I will be happy to join as many times. If you invite me, I will be happy to join, and various topics we can talk about that, and the various ways. So it's not only this is the broad spectrum of these things, then I am doing regularly every week, because after starting I never stopped one day also after doing a shutdown of this coronavirus COVID. I never thought about that. I shifted my practice and everything such a way like that. Because of distance maintenance and everything, I am using all the tools to temperature maintenance and everything to see the clients and everything. I'm keeping the mask and everything. I'm practicing. I never stopped my practice, and I boomed my practice. And online also teaching classes and everything. I'm regularly taking topics, various topics, thyroid problems, Ayurveda and thyroid problems, Ayurveda insomnia, Ayurveda, these various lectures I'm doing, 2-hour lectures and everything. I keep them busy. I am more busier than any other time. The reason is that what we are doing, we are open like that. Now world is the market for us. Sky is the boundary for us. We have an Ayurvedic practitioners are more successful than any other systems of people are there. We need to be expert in the field of yoga. I was there waiting for my my visa processing time. I went to the Swami Vivekananda Yoga Institute, where 1 month I stayed there completely, and like a yogi like that, simple living like that, sleeping on the floor, and taking the certification program in 2000. I have taken the certification from the yoga certification program. After that, I transferred that certification. Now I am a ERYT 500 level and continue education with the Yoga Alliance, and 70,000 yoga teachers are there. Then they communicate with me and all these things, because I'm the doctor, Ayurveda doctor like that, and they ask me a lot of classes and everything. They take Ayurveda program, Ayurveda and yoga training programs we do, and how the yoga asana is beneficial for these things. Marma yoga, we started some program like that. Marma yoga, the marma therapy can be done by the massage therapist, whereas they cannot use, the general public cannot be used as the marma yoga. When they are using vakrasana, what type of the marmas are stimulated? Not necessary that I teach marma therapy courses like that. How the marma therapy, how it is helpful for them. Various marma points are the 107 marma saptottaram marma shatam. This is practically Sushruta what he taught. how we are utilizing these marma points and everything, how it is beneficial for them. A lot of people having sinus problems. I said the fana marma, you can take the fana marma, gently massage in this area, and they say that, wow, my breathing started beneficial for that. And if you have a tension in this area of the apanga marma and avarta marma, these marmas, we tell them shanka marma, these marmas, we teach them and how practically doable like that. And this is like a simple, like an pressure therapy. Very powerful, simple. They can do it. Practically, they can do it, and they can establish into their practice, and they can do successfully, and their results will become far all these things. They will see the more difference like that in the health and wellness. Thank you very much again. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. Bye bye. Done.
Done, sir.
Yeah.